We're still scheduled. We're live.
There we are. Hey, welcome to Carnivore Sunday School. Today is December 14th, 2025. We never say the date. We should say that so that when people refer back, they know which Sunday we are. And we have a special guest today, as we do every week, Erin. And that is not her last name, but she's going to explain why she calls herself Booby Goats. Makes a great discussion. And we're going to talk again about the carnivore diet and everything about it. So we'll do a little introduction where we go clockwise around the screen, and then we'll get to Erin, and she could tell us all about carnivore and her life and her world. Okay, I'll start since I'm up on the top left. I'm John Laspina. I am the Carnivore Teacher Alpha on YouTube. I've been, this January, I will be carnivore 3 full years. I was ketovore 3 full years before that, and keto 1 year before that. So I've been low carb for a long time. Lots of healing going on, some weight loss, just so many things to list in this little brief intro that I don't do it. But I tell you that I'm a retired middle school teacher, and I do this now as my retirement gig. I'm teaching about the carnivore way of eating and how it heals. And when people are ready to find the answer to what ails them and to get healthy, this is a wonderful essential way to eat, I believe. And so that's why I'm on, and why my friends are on as well, to talk about the carnivore diet. So Erin, give us a brief intro and then we'll come back to you.
Hello everybody, my name is Erin. I have a YouTube channel called Booby Goats, and originally it was going to be about goats, but since I found carnivore, I've been in front of the camera just showing my daily life, what I'm eating, and how I'm able to do the things that I couldn't do before because of carnivore. I can roll around if you want. Oh, sorry. Do we need to talk more about me, or are we doing more of an introduction?
Well, that's an intro. We'll come back to you, and then you have the mic for the longest time. Well, let's go over to Steph.
Oh, right. Yeah, me. I'm Stephanie, and I have a YouTube channel at Happy Sexy Health. And I had a massive health transformation. And now with my sister, we help other people to go primal in 21 days. So now over to you, George.
Okay, so my name is George. I am 60 years old, based in Bridgewater in Somerset. I'm 6 weeks younger than John, so he's my senior by 6 weeks. I'm a former morbidly obese type 2 diabetic, no longer a type 2 diabetic, and I have returned my body to a state of homeostasis where it seems happy at the same weight as my 18th birthday. So obviously quite pleased with that. I have many names in the carnivore world. I am known as the carnivore historian because I'm far better at researching history than I am science, so I leave that to the experts. I was known for quite some time as the puppet master by Carl Day of the Primal Lifestyle, on account of the fact that I pull the strings behind the scenes. More recently, I have become the UK ambassador to Kerry's Healing Humanity, which is a great privilege. And also I am a Kilts health coach, and Dr. Kilts has just taken on board the ambassador system, and he wants all of us who are members of the Kilts Mighty Tribe, as I am, the KMT, to become ambassadors for him and for the carnivore world, to get the message out there. So all of us here have the responsibility to spread the word. And I'm also very much involved with setting up meetups, going to meetups, and basically doing whatever I can to facilitate the community in the carnivore community. So that's me in my elevator speech. So back to you, John, to take it from here.
All right, thank you. So Erin, you're our special guest today in the car there. And why don't you tell us, I don't ask guests this each week, and I should start doing this. Tell us about, who you are exactly, like how old you are, when all the little detail, where you live, some of those basic things that we sometimes skip over with our guests.
Go over, yeah. Well, you all know my name's Erin because I just said it, and you said it too like 50,000 times. But I'm 40 years old. I'm a mother of 10. I have 5 girls and 5 boys. My oldest just turned 19, and my youngest just turned 3. And I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio, and we moved here about 6.5 years ago. And because my husband his family has a farm here. And back in Dayton, Ohio, we had illegal backyard chickens. And it started to get, I don't know, when you start with chickens, you want to get more things. And there's an opportunity to come here. So we came here, we packed up, moved down here, got goats like a month or two later after we like made housing for them and everything. And we wanted to start the whole homesteading thing. So I decided I was going to start a YouTube channel, just, maybe eventually one day it would pay for chicken feed or something, And I started doing YouTube shorts before they were shorts, like a few minute things here and there. And when we moved down here, I was pregnant with our 8th child, and I had gestational diabetes with him. I've had gestational diabetes with almost all my kids except for a few. One of them, I didn't have it because before I got pregnant with him, I joined the post office because to get me to lose weight, although I'd have a kid, I'd gain about 50 pounds. I wasn't, you might have think my husband's like covering his head. I was like, you might think I'm a beautiful pregnant lady because I carry your kids, but I didn't think I was. But so I would, after having a child, I would just do a lot of walking, exercising, whatever, get the weight off. And then I'd probably end up like 18 months later with, gonna have another one. So that's how it kind of went for me. And so I decided I'd join the post office to help lose weight, and it would pay for me to lose weight because that's how I'm like. I'm like, if I'm gonna lose weight, somebody's gonna pay me to do it. And so I joined the post office back in 2016, and I heard you could lose 40 pounds in like 3 months, and I did that. And I was looking good, but then I was in a lot of pain at the same time. Like my feet, I could barely walk at the end of the day. People would be like, whoa, are you okay? Did you slip? And I'd be like, no, my lower back. I finally broke down, went to the doctor about it. And they were like, it's sciatic issues. You're going to have to do stretches. And then, of course, it comes up that also I'm pregnant with my 7th. So they decided at the post office, instead of having me deliver packages and walking everywhere, I would drive the cars. But of course, I didn't tweak what I was eating. So I kind of gained back all the weight that I lost on the post office. And so when we moved down here, and after I had him, we moved down here, and usually I would lose the weight, but I didn't. And with the next 3 kids, I still did not lose the weight. But also I have to back up just a little bit, because when I first found out about gestational diabetes, it was with my 3rd child. He was growing a little big, and I had to take a diabetes test. It was like a 3-hour thing where you go in starving. You got to drink this horrible liquid. You got to make sure that you're not going to puke, because if you do, you got to come back and do this thing all over again. And so I did that. I guess I passed the test because I got a call, and I had to Google what gestational diabetes was. I had to go see a special nurse. We had to talk about diet and everything. And she'd be like, what are you eating in a day? And so I don't remember what I'm eating the day before or what I ate the day before. So I just had to kind of make up what I normally eat. And I was like, I have a bagel, I have cream cheese. And then she's like, a lot of cream cheese. I would be like, half a bagel, a lot of cream cheese. Yeah, because it's a bagel. And then I would make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for my daughters. So then I'd be like, I'd have a half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. And then for dinner, standard American, protein, vegetable, and starch. And she's like, okay. So we're going to make all your starches and whatever whole grains, and we're going to do this and that. And I'm like, okay. And then they hand me a cheat sheet of what you should eat while on gestational diabetes. And after you eat, you're supposed to go on a little 30-minute walk or do a little exercise after. It feels good too, because you lose a little bit of weight. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to use this pamphlet and I will eat just what they tell me to eat. And I did that, and my sugars were really high. And so I go in the next week, and they're like, oh, these are too high. We can't do this. We're going to have to start talking about different things like insulin shots or taking pills. And I was like, hold on. Give me another week or 2. let me see what I asked was, how high is the highest sugar that you normally want to look for that's okay? And she said like 120. And I was like, okay. And then morning lows, how is that? Well, I couldn't affect my morning lows at all. So, but anyway, I went home and I figured that the whole wheat bread and the starches and the carbs, those were the things that I can't have because it made my sugar jump. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to eat meat and vegetables. And I did that and everything seemed to fall into place except for my mornings. My mornings, I would go a little too high on the sugar when you wake up. It's a thing. But they made me take at first glyburide, but I had to take a 0.5 of it, and they didn't have that in a pill. So I had to actually cut my pills in half because my sugar would go too low, unlike the 1 milligram or whatever it was that they were giving me. And I controlled it basically by doing that. And that's what I've done for any of my pregnancies that I had gestational diabetes with. It just worked for me. But what didn't work for me was the fact that you lose your diabetes, gestational diabetes, after you have the child. So then in my head, it's like, sweet, I can have pizza again type deal. So that's what would happen to me. And with my last child, she was our first C-section. And oh, that was the worst. It was like none of the chairs in the house were big enough for me to sit down. And I was always on my feet walking around with her. And I had a cold at the same time. So with the stitches in your stomach and you have to push pillows next to you while you cough, it was awful. So I was sitting on the couch with her and we were watching homesteading stuff on YouTube because that was kind of the thing that I did with my 3-year-old at the time. Flash, he loved this one guy. He had cows, horses, and all this stuff. So we would sit down and watch him. And he was talking about, I'm going to do this thing called the carnivore diet. And I was like, the carnivore diet? You're going to kill yourself. I'm going to subscribe. How is this guy using the bathroom? What's going to happen to him? I'm excited to learn more type deal. And my phone picked up on it. So I started to get these recommendations for Dr. Berry. And I was like, I'm making fun of this carnivore diet thing. I don't even know what it is. I should watch it so I know what I'm talking about. And I did. And one of his shows about how to do the carnivore diet or what you need for the carnivore diet, he said, wouldn't you like to lose 30 pounds in 30 days? Like doing nothing. It would be super easy. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. It would be super easy to lose some weight in 30 days. So that's when I was like, let me get my pen and paper out. I'm going to write down what I need. All I needed really was some electrolytes, I guess. And that's what I did. And I found Laura Spath, and she had like some kind of like, if you buy Element, you use my code, you get like 15 extra or a free pack or something. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I ended up having like one a day for 30 days. So I had 30 days for my salts that I needed. And I've never actually done my research, so this is really funny. So it was March 3rd of 2023. This is when Lent started. And I was like, well, I got to give up something for Lent. So I'm just going to give up alcohol and carbs. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And so I did that. And in the first 3 days, I wake up and I'm like, whoa, what is going on? My knees do not hurt. And I was like, oh man, this is great. I'm like 250 pounds and I'm doing squats and things. I'm like, what's going on? What is going on? Like I'm feeling really good. And then about maybe a week later, I wake up and I've always had lower back pain after I had my first epidural. And I did have plenty of epidurals. I had one that fell out and I had a almost 10-pound baby. So I felt everything for that one. And then with Flash, I didn't have an epidural for him. He had to come. So he went. So I've had like one of the things with epidurals is you get lower back pain. And it's one of the things that could happen if you have them. And that's what I had. But it's gone. It was gone. And I'm like, oh boy, this is great. I don't feel bad at all. And I had so much extra energy, especially after like just eating a couple hamburger patties. And there was this point where this fellow over here would want to go out to eat and stuff. And he'd be like, do you want to eat? And I'm like, no, I'm not hungry. I don't really, I don't want to eat anything. I'm good. I feel good. So when you're feeling good, there's a whole mind shift, I'm guessing, kind of thing that goes on where you're not sad. You're not a little depressed anymore. And you just want to do stuff. You feel good when you're doing stuff. And then I was talking to my daughter, Loretta. I was like, hey, this is really weird. But all I'm doing is what you're not supposed to be doing, eating fatty meat, red fatty meat. And I feel great. Like, what is this? It's like I should tell people, but I don't know how to tell people. And she was like, don't you have a YouTube channel? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I decided, since I had this YouTube channel just sitting there, not really doing much with it, I'd get on it and I would just do the from Pogo.
She's frozen. Can
Yeah,
you guys-
we've lost Erin for the moment. It's she
Yeah.
obviously hit a bad. You're frozen on screen there, and we can't
Yeah.
hear you. So
It'll come back, I'm sure. She
It'll
needs to go
come
to
back
another
now.
tower on the road, probably.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. She's just that is I can't hear these stories enough. How you don't expect all these wonderful things to happen. You're just expecting to lose a few
I just
pounds.
need to make a public apology to Erin, because I knew
dead.
she had a very large household.
Froze.
But I didn't realise that all 10 children were actually her own. So,
well, that was my first when she first said I'm 40 and I have 10 children. I mean,
absolutely.
she kept talking and I was hung on that.
Yeah, my reason being that I had no idea that she was as old as 40, because I thought that she was only
She looks very young.
early 30, so I didn't think it possible that she could have 10. So yeah, that's once again the carnivore diet strikes again. It's I just would not believe that she had already turned 40. So yeah, apologies, but congratulations.
Yeah. And we've had a few goats in the comments. Now
I saw that.
In Jamaica, where my family is from. Oh, Erin's back. In Jamaica, where my family is from, being a goat is like being a stupid person. If you're acting like a goat, it's being really stupid. And goats are hilarious.
We'll get somewhere soon.
Let's look at this. George, I love that George says that he was on a homestead. He grew up on a homestead with a little small holding, and he had a goat named Delilah.
Yeah, we got her in, I think, 1969 when the Tom Jones song Delilah was in the charts. And as we were driving home, Mum suddenly burst into song because she liked it, and the goat was in the back of the car, and she started singing Delilah, and she said, "Oh, I think I'll just name the goat." Yeah, so that's how she became Delilah. And she lived quite a long time. I think we got her in 1969, and I think she lived 12 years. So yeah, she was my childhood companion. I was scared of her at first because she, used to sort of like rear up on her hind legs at me. But as I grew older, we became great friends. So it was great fun.
Oh, I've never seen them do that. And Sandy had pet goats as a kid and said they're so entertaining. And Rick fell out with his mum. He brought the goat in the house, and the goat caused absolute havoc. But you'll see that I'm looking down a lot because I'm replying to all your comments. I've got my phone here. So it's great chatting to you in the comments. And if you've got any questions that you want us to put to that you want to put to Erin, just put a QQQ and add them in the comments. Or if you want either Erin or any of us to answer, yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
And Erin's back. Sorry, you got cut off there. Erin, can you hear us? You remember where you left off?
Yes. No.
That's all right. That's all right. You were. We were commenting when you left that when you said your age, and then you said you have 10 children, and you continued to talk. I don't know about George and Stephanie, but I was hung on that because you look like a 19 or 20-year-old. I mean, you look like a young girl to have 10 kids. Amazing. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
get that a lot.
Oh,
That's because it's the truth, Aaron.
it is.
I had no idea that you were 40. I always had you down as late 20s, 30 maybe. So that's why I thought that it was impossible for you to have 10 children at that age. But now I know the truth. So yeah, it's
and
well,
shout out to the man driving the car there. Say hi to the hubby. Thank you
Like,
for your support.
I said, nobody can see you. It's fine. Good.
That's all right. We know someone's turning the wheel and controlling it. Any other thoughts or questions from Steph or George or Aaron? I'll tell you my goat story. Everybody's typing their goat story. On one of them, I took a cruise in the Caribbean, one of my cruises, and we stopped at St. Thomas, and there was this escalator ride, or I don't know what they call it, like a ski lift ride. We went up the side of the mountain. There was this little zoo up there. The Peacock opened up for us, and there were a couple of goats. And I was just standing there, and this man, this mother just had a baby goat, and this man was nursing the goat because apparently the father had peed on it, and the mother wouldn't let the baby nurse. So the man walks over and hands me this baby goat with the umbilical cord still attached. And I'm like, I hand my camera, and I'm like, film me. I'm holding this little baby goat. It was amazing. It was so cool. That's my goat story.
absolutely. Well, before we get off the subject of goats, I know that Steph comes from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And is there such a thing as curried goat, which is
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very
Can you tell
good.
us about that?
Well, if you go to a funeral, there's always going to be curry goat, and there's going to be a party. I don't eat it that much. Well, not nowadays anyway, because it's got loads of sauce and everything. But if you go to a funeral, you feel shortchanged badly if there's no curry goat. And then there's a bit of a party afterwards, music and celebration. Hopefully, if the person had a good innings, obviously it's sad if somebody's died young. But usually the funerals are great fun. If people have lived to a long age, plus you've seen all the family and friends, you've had the curry goat, there's all the dancing, and then those who are so inclined are on the rum. So it's actually quite a good time.
Yeah. Can I just point out, I think this is correct, Steph, that one of the biggest faux pas you can make when talking to somebody from the Caribbean is called goat curry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is that correct?
Yeah. Well, we know what you mean, but you're not down. You're not down.
It just shows you're not cool.
Curry
And you don't really know. Yeah.
Curry
Yeah.
goat.
So there we go.
Interesting.
Thanks for that, George. Yeah.
Just a little bit of education on. We are after all on Sunday school, so there we go.
Love it.
So, Aaron,
This is not Keto Cookout, where I'm not allowed to teach, as Aaron will know. I think Aaron and I have actually appeared on Keto Cookout together in the past, and one of Russ's instructions is we ain't here to learn nothing. We're here to have a good time. So there we go.
Okay. Interesting. Well, Aaron, tell us more about the question I ask all the people that I interview is, okay, what are you eating now? Right, this moment, like what do you have in a day? What does your family have in a day?
Well, for me, I just in the morning I make a fatty coffee with like one egg yolk and a tablespoon of butter and like 9 cups of coffee, and I immersion blend the crap out of that. That's what I have for my breakfast, and I'm usually good all day until dinner time. I'll have a steak, like a T-bone or something, or whatever I find on sale, because I like to buy everything on sale. And when I started the carnivore diet, it was more like it's got to be every kind of meat. I can't just be like one thing, because I got to be able to afford it. And since I started feeling really good on it, what I started to do with the kids was I made them more whole food type deal. And then we got to a point last year, we did a lot of the keto stuff with the kids, and then we went full carnivore for a month. And when one of my daughters left for the whole month because there was nothing to eat, and I'm like, what are you talking about? There's burgers all over the place type deal. And she was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Bye. But the rest of the kids didn't mind because, you know, it was like cottage cheese, you could have meat and all that stuff, and, you know, no vegetables. A lot of them are like, yes, awesome. But a lot of them really like cheesy vegetables. So we do that with them. They're more whatever they like, really, because it was more like maybe you should be happier with you guys, and we'll just try. If they want something, they really want it, I gotta make it. So it's got to be like, I've got to start a sourdough because they want to do for Christmas, they want to do pizzas. And I'm like, I got to do a sourdough. Oh, I got to start a sourdough. It's been forever. I kind of let mine die. So I have to do stuff like that. And I was thinking the other day, it's really funny for me to be carnivore and I also cook, because usually what they get is like 2 different proteins and then rarely nothing else unless they ask for it specifically. It's just like a lot of meat. Because I'm just like, whatever. But some days we do have to, like, I have to take the kids to Cub Scouts, so they have to be able to make the food that's a simple food for them to make. So I have to go out and get, you know, hot dogs, and then they always like chili dogs, so I get the cheese and the chili, and then they complain if they don't have buns, and then I've got to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to make them, but I have to make them because there's nothing safe here, really. It's not fun. I'm like, just eat meat. I do it all the time. And whenever they have complaints or ailments, I'm like, you know, it fix that. And they're all like, don't say carnivore. Don't talk about carnivore. Don't even. They're always doing that to me. Like I say it too much or something. You know, it fixed that on me. So we have that. But when we get them and they're not on a sugar, like right now, because of school and stuff, they get sugar from school because candy, and it's holidays that have been going through. It's almost like a downhill spiral for them from Halloween on till Christmas, and then they get to wait until spring to have, because he likes to do the Easter baskets with the candies, and I'm like, look at the Easter basket stuff. They've decided to make more fun toys instead of candy. But when they don't have it, they're great. When they do have it, it's crazy. And I also noticed, like, when I just offer them more bacon, more hard-boiled eggs, have them ready in the fridge, and I quit buying all the, like, stuff that makes a lot of crumbs. And then every once in a while, when we pick up the stuff that makes crumbs, it's just a bigger mess. It's less mess when you don't deal with the junk. It really is. So they're like, they eat, you know, just kind of what I eat, but I like to add for them some veggies if they ask. That's basically me. But if they're like, we really want spaghetti, because they like spaghetti, it takes me forever. I've got to make the spaghetti. I've got to roll it all out and take it through the machine. That part the kids like. The first part, I teach them how to do it, so then I don't have to do it. But my spaghetti making thing, the extruder part doesn't do the flattening enough, so I've got to be out there with the roller like, this is how to do it. Using all your muscles. Everything it can't just come from a box. I gotta make it, because morally now it stinks in a way, because I know what's the best for you to eat and what will make you feel the best, and I try to do that with them. But my youngest, that have been with me since I've started carnivore, they eat a lot of meat. They love it. They'll come after me. I have it recorded all the time, because I'm like, I eat my meal last so I can, like, make a little show for YouTube, and they'll always come up and be like, hey, can I get a piece of that? I'm like, sure. They're always after the food on my plate. I'm like, good, do it, go.
So you take your ingredients that you know do not have seed oils and do not have all the added starches, colors, flavors, additives, preservatives, and you're making the whole foods that the kids want. That's not all carnivore, but at least it's your whole food. Then you know what's going in it, and you know how you're cooking it, which is 1,000 times better. Yeah, I'm attributing a lot of my delays in learning and reading to the fact that there were seed oils in all my food. Yeah.
And I'm like, because my brain functions way better on carnivore and in ketosis, I was like, son of a gun. This is what I needed my whole life. And then I think about how the hell are everybody driving on the road that are not on Carnivore? Like, how are they, how am I living through it? Like, you watch people drive and you're like, are they even there?
They're all on their phones.
No, they're not.
That's
They're
scary.
not.
Yeah, if I can just jump in here, folks. Both Steph and myself live on the motorway corridors. I'm on the M5 and she's on the M4, and we can tell you that basically all the time the motorways are closed because people crash.
Ooh.
And I think you made a valid point there, to be perfectly honest, Aaron, because people just they're not as spatially aware. Their timings are wrong. Certainly every Friday when people are trying to drive home, I mean, yes, it's just a nightmare. Would you agree, Steph?
Yeah, I would. I would. And can I talk about something that's very exciting that's happened? I'm not sure if this is on your channel, Erin, or your channel, John, but it's the first time that I've seen it on one of our lives. But Roy, thanks, has given $50.
I saw that. Thank you,
Wow.
Roy. Wow.
Maybe that's so I'm not sure whose channel it's on. But that's lovely. And I've got a few more comments.
There was one a really good question for Erin about
Yes.
her diabetes. If you want to go back and find that one and post it.
Great. I'll just talk about Sandy's pet pig Alice, who would visit in the house when she was a kid, because I just love that. But here is the question for you, Erin, from Carnivore Jerry. Does diabetes run in your family? Is it type 1 or type 2?
Type 2, I believe that my dad's A1C was a little high, and he started doing carnivore, but I don't know if he had his blood tested or not. But he doesn't look like he'd have a bad A1C score, but he did. I think my grandfather on my fraternal side or grandmother might have had type 2 diabetes, and on my maternal side, my grandmother had it, because I know she did, because she lost her legs to gangrene. So that's what I know so far on that. So it is genetic. So I thought it was genetic too. And then when I started controlling it with diet, I was like, wait a minute. But because I was so spacey and not yet like, I don't know, that carnivore clear, it didn't like click for me that if I just ate this way, I'd be fine. Until I actually did carnivore. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And there's a couple of other ones. Oh, that's very strange. There's 2 Johns.
Oh, crikey.
I don't know what's going on.
John's got twins.
Power gotta activate.
Yeah, I
don't
can
know what's-
remove one, John. Just let me
remove
know.
one. I don't know why. I
Remove the
got
right one,
bumped
though,
off
please.
and I can't
yeah.
sign back
Okay.
on.
We're on to one.
Sorry, I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
we don't want another incident like we had on Juliet's channel the other day. when she
Weird.
managed to eliminate Amy, her best friend, when she was trying to hit a troll. But that's a story which we're not going to let Juliet forget in a hurry, are we? Amy.
No, definitely not. And she'll be coming on here, so maybe she'll kick one of us out. But Lainey and Rick and others have all said, Erin looks like she's in her 20s. You look fabulous, especially having to raise 10 children. I think I would be in a straitjacket, and I think I'm agreeing with Lainey there.
That's why the
Definitely.
opportunity to move to a farm, I was like, let's take it, because I can just kick them outside.
Yeah. And Tammy said, I would get so disappointed following the American Diabetes Association diets. They never worked. They never helped. And the doctors always made you feel worse. And, you just give up so many times. And I think we've all had that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Over the period where we've been struggling before we found carnivore.
Right, time for a quick sales pitch here about American diabetes. And that is that just recently, our friends under Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Tony Hampton and various others have set up a rival organization for the American Diabetes Association called the American Diabetes Society. So they are actually taking direct action to try to basically shift the conversation from the American Diabetes Association to the American Diabetes Society, and it goes without saying that they are taking the low carb approach. So yeah, if anybody didn't know about the American Diabetes Society, please go and look it up on your browser and find out more about it, and just basically get away from the ADA and switch over to the American Diabetes Society, because they are the future.
It's an excellent website. I have it posted in the show notes of my YouTube, American Diabetes Society. A lot of people get it confused because they just automatically think association. And also, Roy, I now know who this is, Roy Carter, who posted this. Roy bought my book. He sent it to me. I signed it. I sent it back. We've been going back and forth, sharing ideas. He's asking me questions, so that I know who this person is. Hi, Roy. Thank you for coming on and watching. We appreciate it.
And that, I love that very generous gesture.
Very generous. Thank you.
So that's so lovely to see.
Yeah.
And finally, from me at the moment, from the comments section, is from Jonathan at Carnivore Muscle, and he's just talking about the hacks that he likes to integrate with carnivore diet, morning sunlight, resistance training, online community, sauna, and red light therapy. So it'd be great to hear from you, Erin, your thoughts on these. Maybe with 10 kids and being on a farm, you don't need to think too hard about these different hacks, maybe as those of us who live in the city. But have you got any thoughts on these hacks?
Oh, I kind of do. I do them, I think. Sure, I do. I get up. This is so crazy because I never thought I was really a morning person, and I'd have to get up to get everybody going because I'm mom, and I'm the only one that actually thinks it's important to wake up in the morning. But now I just wake up at 4 or 4:30, and I'm like always up, and I'm walking around, and I'll go outside. I try not to look at my phone right away, and if the lights go off, I'm like, yes, I can go outside and get some light in my eyes before the sun comes up. And I do that, and I'm usually around this time of the year, because it's kind of colder for us, I like to do my morning chores without a jacket on. Sometimes I do it barefoot. If I have my sandals on, I'll take them off, because I want to get my grounding in before I bundle up and I have to go outside and do stuff. And I do have an exercise machine, a weight machine that I like to use, but one of the kids lost the pin to it, so lately it's been I'm mucking out the chicken coop, and every scoop's like 50 pounds to muck it over, and I should have more of my kids doing it, I know, but I like to do exercise. I like to dig. I like to do these things. This is like the stuff that I've always wanted to do, so I love being outside, and it used to take me forever to do things, and it's so simple on carnivore because I'm like, I'm up, I'm ready, let's go, let's do stuff. And that's where I get my training. But the online community thing, it's key. You need it. I was maybe 8 months in at Carnivore, and I've never actually got onto the live chats to chat with the people, because it's like a big step. It was a big step. And I went on to Nia's Way. She used to do a show a lot. She used to do a fireside chat or something on Sundays, and it was fun. And then from her, I found Old Guy Carnivore, and everybody there is just awesome. It's a great group of people. They seem to like go through that with Carrie's channel and going around. This is a bunch of really nice people. We're all a little more clear-headed, like-minded, and really fun to hang out with. So that's why there's usually like a lot of chatting, because it's like, hey, what's up, guys? What are you doing today? I love it. But all these things are great, and sauna would be awesome. My sauna is my greenhouse. I will get in there and just hang out to sweat. I love, like, this is almost my 3rd year on Carnivore, and this summer it was hot, it was humid, I'm like dripping buckets of sweat, but it didn't bother me. Usually it's really like, oh, it's so hot outside, I'm just gonna stay in. No, it was more like, why is the air conditioning off? Turn it off. It's great to sweat. You turn on the regular fans, open the windows, type of deal. And everybody's like, she's lost it, she's crazy now because Carnivore. And I'm like, no, it's just I felt good. I felt good to sweat. It was great. And I kind of miss it now because it's colder, but I still get out there and I do stuff because if you're not doing anything, you're kind of bored. And carnivore makes you kind of energetic, and you got to do something, or if I don't do anything, and I'm like folding laundry, I have to run to put it away and stuff. It's just my muscles kind of like do this thing where it's like, come on, let's do push-ups or something. And I'm like, this is not me. This is so weird, and I have to do them anyway. Type deal.
You have all this energy that people talk about when they go carnivore. You don't know what to do with it. You have to do something because your mitochondria are so much more efficient. You have more flexibility and you have more energy, and run that laundry.
Yeah. But in the beginning, it was for me, I think there was this point where I saw somebody say they didn't need a lot of salt, so I stopped taking the salt, and I started to like slow down and be kind of like dragging and stuff. So I decided to reach out to a bunch of electrolyte companies, and I was like, I'll just do like, I'll try your product and see how I like it. I have a YouTube channel, blah blah blah. So they were really cool. Keto Chow and Element sent me a bunch of free electrolytes.
Good.
And once I took the electrolyte, I felt way better, and I was
Big
like,
difference.
it's the dang salt. And then everybody started talking about fat, and they're always talking about fat. Somebody's not feeling so great, and I was like, I'm kind of feeling dogged out. Maybe I should do the fat. And that's when I started doing like really fatty coffee. They're adding like bacon grease to the coffee and frothing it and stuff, because right when I did that and I took a sip of coffee, that woke me up more than the coffee is the fat. And it's like, you got to have the fat. If you don't have it, you're just like, you're not doing carnivore right. You think you are, but you're not. Not at all.
Yeah, fat is where it is at.
Yes.
100%. And a lot of us have been fat phobic trained
Yes.
from decades ago. We're so, cut the fat off. We were fat phobic. My gosh. And
Well, I kind of put on a little weight from doing the fat thing, but I feel really good on the fat. I don't know what to do.
yeah, go by how you feel. Yeah.
Like, eventually it'll pan out. But I'm just like, if I feel really good, why take it away if it's good for me?
I just want to say, I think you're the passenger, are you not, Erin?
I am.
Yeah, your husband's driving, because there's quite a few worried people in the comments saying, "Oh, she's driving; it's illegal to drive." So
We're parked. We're in a parking lot.
Sandy, you can stop worrying. When the car's moving, it's Mr. Booby Goats who's driving.
And remember, we're in the United States, so she's in this side. You're thinking Britain. She's in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got a funny story about that from Monday when I picked up Dr. Kiltz from Heathrow.
Oh, really?
First thing he did was go to the driver's side.
Yeah.
And he actually said, I should know better than that by now. But no, I said it's the same mistake we all make when we go
to another
between countries. So yeah.
And there's a question for you from Lainey, Erin. Erin, do you eat your chickens or just the eggs?
Just the eggs. I'm not strong enough yet to eat my chickens, but when push comes to shove, I might do it. But for now, I don't need to. And they're pets. They're all
strong
pets.
enough, meaning strong enough to chop their head off and pluck.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
I know how to do it. I know how to do it from watching all these homesteading shows.
Right.
I joke to the geese and the turkeys because they're kind of loud sometimes. Like, which one's going for Christmas dinner? We're gonna have a goose or a turkey. I do it all the time, but I can't. Not yet, anyway. Their eyes are too big and cute right now for me.
And Roy said he's loving your book, John. Still enjoying every night at reading time.
He's a great guy. It's personal. I won't say it to you, but he and I have been going back and forth and talking about my book, and he's a good soul. I don't know if we want to have him come on. If he wants to come on, he may not want to come on, but carnivore low carb carnivore has really helped him tremendously. So he's just learning and growing, and his wife's jumping on board and everything. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Roy, just comment if you want to come on the show. We'd love to have you on if that's something you want to do. And the next space is the end of January, Roy. So that would be amazing. And one more question that we've got at the moment from Exist and Live. What percentage of y'all's diet is meat? I did the American accent there. I hope you.
You did well. The South, the American South. We don't say y'all up north.
It's yous guys, right? Up north?
Yeah, yous guys. We're from Philadelphia. That's how we say
I
it.
guess mine would be 97% all meat because I have coffee and tea. What are you gonna do? And
Yeah,
fizzy water.
Mine's about 95%. I use mustard, sometimes a little onion, or some oregano, or I don't know. Sometimes something gets in there, so I know it's not 100%. But I'm really close to 100, to be honest with you. And some days I am 100.
Yep.
Yeah, it depends on the definition of meat because I eat cheese, I eat fish and eggs as well.
That's
one thing
carnivore.
I do not eat, as in anything which has fiber in it. I have not touched for a long time. I do consume liquid carbs, coffee, cream, and that sort of thing. But I actually regard now, since I've been on this game for 3.5 years, I regard seed oils and fiber as actually being worse than sort of a few carbohydrates here and there. So I've got no qualms about consuming liquid carbohydrates as long as they don't go to my colon to rot like fiber does. So yeah, I am basically 100% when it comes to actually having to chew something. That is 100% carb free or whatever. But I do drink in liquid form. I do consume a few carbs, so I'm pretty close. But there we go.
Yeah, and for me at the moment, I usually eat all the primal things apart from dairy. But at the moment, I'm being a bit stricter because I have stage 4 cancer, and it's helpful to be in therapeutic ketosis. And sometimes it can recur in the winter, and we're in the winter at the moment. And I've noticed a few not promising signs from blood tests, and just I can just feel. So I'm cut back to do therapeutic ketosis. So I was very excited today. I've just been doing this for the last few days, and my ketones this morning were 2.5, which is in the therapeutic level, and my blood sugar was 4. So my GKI is 1.6, and therapeutic ketosis is under 2. So that's really good. And the amount that people can eat and be in therapeutic ketosis will obviously vary person to person, depending on their own metabolism, how healthy they are, how much they weigh, how big they are, all the rest of it, how much exercise they do maybe as well. And but I eat 250 grams of minced beef, and up until today I was having 4 rashers of bacon with it, but I've now run out of bacon. I'm not going to buy any more, so I'll just be having beef and liver. And if I just eat that much per day, it keeps me in this therapeutic state. So I've got Christmas coming up, which usually I stay mainly carnivore over Christmas normally, but I do eat a mountain of food. But I won't be able to do that this year, so it'd be interesting to see how I get on with the whole Christmas thing. Speaking of that, it'd be great to hear what you're all thinking as we head towards the festive season. How do you all approach it?
Good question. How about you? We'll start with Erin. Erin, what are you all doing for Christmas?
My husband likes the country ham, the very salty ham. They usually get like a big salty ham. And I was looking today at the briskets again, because if I can find a good deal on a brisket, I'm gonna grab one up. Because usually we cook 2 big thick meats, and then I'm just like, I'll eat the meat because that's what I eat. If the kids want other things, they'll make whatever they want. It's fine. It's Christmas. But that's how I do. I don't really, since I'm not going anywhere this year, I will just be at home, and it'll just be like how I did Thanksgiving. It was a turkey and a brisket, and that was delicious. What is it?
That works. She'll be back. She probably popped off like I did. Yeah. For Christmas time, I'm going to do what I did for Thanksgiving. We're going to smoke on the Traeger grill a prime rib. If you've never smoked a prime rib, it is succulent. It is amazing. And we also smoke brisket too, which takes a lot longer. But I just more meat on the holidays. Same that I do on the regular nights, but more. Sometimes better. sometimes you splurge and spend the money on the prime cuts.
Yeah,
How about
we
you,
have two.
Steph? Or George. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, we have two freezers in the house. Lainey's actually sat in the other room at the moment. She might come and correct me in a second. I know she wants to say hello to Erin anyway. But those two freezers are completely rammed with meat now, just meat, nothing else. Lainey's very good at spotting bargains in the local supermarkets. The lamb was all half price, so we've got lots of lamb legs in there. On Saturday, we went to the pop-up market, which I think I've put on my Facebook, and quite a lot of people have seen that. The mobile butcher drives around in a big truck and sells out the back, and he sells bulk at discounted prices. So we stocked up on steak the other day. We buy online. There is a company called Weston's Rose Veal, not very far from us. And Lainey put in the big order for them recently. So we've got a lot of veal rump and veal scallop in the freezer. We have various other lamb chops, you know, the fillers, pigs and blankets and sausages, definitely. We're so full that we saw something called a capon on Saturday. Now, I don't know if you know what a capon is, but it's basically, it's a rooster or a cockerel over here, which has been sterilized. So it grows quicker, and then it's obviously not allowed to breed because it can't breed. And they become a much bigger version of a rooster, much more tender. We were going to pick one up on Saturday, but Lainey realized that we have got no space in the freezer. In fact, here she is. So we're gonna make some space this week, and I'm going out to buy a capon on Saturday.
And we also have a rib of beef on the bone, 2 joints of rump, 3 ducks. I didn't kill my own ducks, Erin. I couldn't do that either. There's no way. They'd all have bones in their hair. I'd be rubbish. I could never be a farmer's wife ever. Yeah, we've got our lobsters. We've got lobsters.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the lobsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know, 2 lobsters. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, lovely to see you all.
all right. Thanks, Lainey.
See you later.
Yeah, so there we go. And just on subject to ducks, I just got this for Rick. I've got to do it. Yesterday we went shopping at the market, and we went and had a look at the market stalls, and we found this book, and I had absolutely to buy it. It's called The Duck Burglars. So Rick, if you're still in the chat, well, it's only small. So what I'm going to be doing is, I can't send it to you obviously intact, but I'm going to take photographs, frames of the entire book, and I'm going to send it to you in chapter form on email, because we do have email contact. So yeah, The Duck Burglars. So that's your Christmas present, Rick.
Need to do that when I ride around my neighborhood. I see a ton of ducks, and I think the duck whisperer. I'm going to call Rick the duck whisperer, because they come to him. They know him.
You just go by here, ducky, ducky.
Yeah, he's a pro at that.
Oh, I can see Julie in the comments from the other day at the event.
Oh yeah.
And she just had a half a chicken for dinner. So just keep me up to date. And also I wanted to point out that Erin has got a duck on her back seat as well.
Yes, she does.
So
We've been
it's all-
staring at it this whole time, and I mentioned it at the beginning.
Right along.
Yeah. So we have we have about 6 or 7 minutes. Anything else you'd like to share about your carnivore lifestyle, Erin, that you may have left out or you wanted to add before we close out?
I'll probably think of something 30 minutes later, like,
Oh.
son of a-
I'll jump in on something as well, just on the driving side of things. Now, if I want to go and visit Steph, I've got to jump in the car, and it will take me 55 minutes to an hour to get there. But because a couple of Fridays ago, a friend of mine was trying to do a very similar journey, and she actually gave up after 7 hours because there have been so many crashes. She gave up around the Clevedon area, Steph, around Portishead, up towards that way, so she couldn't get to the bridge. So that's fairly typical over here. But we also, and that is basically because people don't drive very well. But we have another phenomenon here in the UK which blocks the motorways, and that is the bridge jumpers. We get about 2 or 3 a month. People who go and stand on the bridge and either actually do jump, or they just threaten to. But of course, they have to close the whole motorway while the people are trying to either talk them down or clean them up off the motorway if they actually do the jumping. And this is a mental health issue. So, it happens so regularly. It just shows how much mental health problems there are out there. And, we in this community, we don't suffer from it. So the knock-on effect of the low carb, the low fat, high carb diet the high plant diet is having a massive effect on society. Because obviously people are trying to get to work, they're trying to get to visit their friends, and they can't do it because these people who are mentally disturbed are actually having a real effect on the way that the country runs. So, yeah, it's very frustrating for us, but it's a simple fact of life. So there we go.
I don't think we have a lot of bridge jumpers, but I'm sure there are some. And we have our traffic jams and we have our crazies, and people don't know how to use their turn signals in the United States or stop at stop signs.
Turn on the lights too.
Right. It's frustrating. My big pet peeve is the darn cell phones nowadays. You're not supposed to be on them, and everybody's on them while they're driving. You could see them holding them. I don't know why they have to hold them. And the light turns green and nobody goes. And I'm tapping on the horn. I'm like, put the phone away. I'm cursing. Frustrating, but it is what it is. I feel like my speed is so much faster. Like the light turns green and I'm going right away. I have fast responses, and maybe because of my carnivore diet, I don't know if I was this fast before, but everybody needs to be faster.
I was like the other night, you put, because I'm out in the country at night, you put your brights on to see. I don't do that anymore. I kind of forget to do it because I can see just
you see
fine.
Better. Yeah. I don't wear sunglasses anymore.
Yeah. I don't need them. I love the sun.
Yeah.
Love it. It feels so good.
It does. And we need that we need the signals in our eyes for our circadian rhythm, when it rises, when it sets, all that stuff. All right, we're at the top of the hour. Shall we do our close out?
I just acknowledge Wendy, who suggested that I do a storytelling of the duck burglars. And actually read it out loud on my channel and just show each page.
Do it, George, like an elementary school teacher.
We've had a request, so I will get around to doing that. In the very near future before Christmas, I will do a story time, the duck burglars, and hopefully Rick will tune in to watch it as well. So consider that done, Wendy. No worries, thank you.
I think you and Rick should go on. We can get two people on the screen. You read it, Rick comments.
It might be an idea.
You would have a lot of volume watching that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We can do a special or something. Isn't it?
Steph, why don't you start by telling us where people can find you and
Yeah, thanks. It's I forgot my name there. I'm Stephanie Taylor, and I'm at Happy Sexy Health on YouTube. If you're not subscribing, it'd be great to see you over there. And we share lots of stories about people who are starting, we call it primal eating. Some of them are carnivore, some of them are ketovore. And it's great stories from, it's amazing stories, because when you first start, that's when you have your biggest wins, isn't it? And people are really shocked and they can't believe it, like you guys were saying in the comments. Yeah, that's it from me. It was great talking to you all in the comments and getting to know you. I love all the chat. And so that's why you saw me looking down at my phone to make the comments during our talk tonight. And now I'm going to pass it over to George.
Okay, so my name is George Goodenough. My channel is good enough for you. It's very undeveloped as yet. I do use it as a news platform, and apparently I'm going to use it as a storytelling platform as well, which will be fun. I'm also on Facebook under my own name. You won't miss me because it's I'm wearing a cap in my profile photograph. And the standing joke within the community at the moment is, where can you find me? And everybody says George is everywhere, because either I'm on a panel show like this live, or I'm in the chat with as many people as I possibly can. For example, myself and Jonathan were on with DC this morning. You can find me nearly every morning, work allowing, in Dr. Kilt's 6 a.m. And then shortly after that, I get an hour break, and then I'm on with Erin in the chat if I possibly can. But where I'm working, I sometimes have a difficult connection, but I usually manage to drop in for at least 10 minutes. And then in the evenings as well, yeah, you'll find me pretty much everywhere. Anywhere the KMT goes and Healing Humanity goes, you'll find me there. Thank you.
And you can find me, Booby Goats, on YouTube. I also have an Instagram, but I think it's like connected. If you go to my YouTube page, if you want to find it, you can. And if you like chaos, animals, kids, no, that's just chaos. If you like chaos, subscribe. And meat.
Animals, 10 children and animals. It has to be fascinating. All right. Thank you. And I'm a carnivore teacher. I'm on YouTube and all the other social media sites. Put a lesson out every day. We come here on Sunday. I do a few interviews. I published a few books. I did it one particular, I put a video out every day, and the one that came out about 7 days ago, and I don't know why, hit 80,000 views. Like it skyrocketed. Just this one video. Apparently, everybody wanted to hear about the difference between ruminant animals and monogastric animals. If you check out my YouTube channel, you'll see that the views just exploded on that one. So I never know what's going to do it, but I'd make a lesson every day teaching something that I learned to the carnivore community. So check that out. All right, that's it. Thank you all so much for coming. Who's coming on next week, Steph?
George.
That will be Robin Heron, Carnivorous Grammar.
Oh, Robin. Oh, I love Robin.
From my favourite names town in the whole of this state, which is Kalamazoo, because I remember a song where there was a cat called Kalamazoo. So yeah, I've actually, to be honest with you, John, this is Robin's second time round because she was one of our very first guests.
She was Carnivorous Grandma.
Absolutely. And so she was on with Dawn, my friend from down in Southern California. So this is Robin's second time round, but she'll have the limelight to herself next week. And then, as a matter of interest, that's the 21st. The night before, give a big shout out to me because I shall be on with Robin, giving her an interview on her channel. So, it's going to be great fun. It really will be. And then, of course, the following week we have the legend himself, which is Dr. Kiltz on the Christmas special. So it's all very exciting coming up on Carnival Sunday School. John, would you ever have imagined when we started back in June where we would get to with this?
This has really gone in an amazing direction, and I'm excited. I look forward to this every Sunday. This is so much fun. Erin, thank you so much for joining us. This was really great. Thank your husband for driving. and
stick around for the after show party because that's when we break out the pizza, the chips, and the beer and the wine.
I love it. All right.
Bye.